Hello everyone, this is the part 2 of the research proposal video. In the previous video we had discussed about the 9 points which will be most helpful for you. In this video we are going to discuss the balance points which will be more helpful to write your research proposal. So let's get into the video without any delay. Then in the previous video we had discussed about the 8 points. In this video let's continue with the 9th point, which is you have to describe the proposed research. The session is the heart of the proposal and should include all information about your proposed methodology or approach. This section can also be titled Methodology. Provide a complete explain of your proposed research and address the explanation to experts in the field rather than laymen. The setup and information in this section will depend on whether your research is qualitative or quantitative. You will likely have subsections like research design, instrumentation, data collection and analysis procedures. You may include information about what you will do to protect the rights of human subjects, if necessary, under a section called Protection of Human Rights. Other possible subsections might include rigor, neutrality, consistency, applicability, etc. And also you should also demonstrate your knowledge of alternative methods while making the case that your approach is the most effective way to tackle your research question. So be realistic about what you hope to accomplish, and you have a clear about your focus and explain about everything the research relies on. And the description should also include a detailed schedule of the proposed work and throughout about all groundwork and materials needed. Also you have to include information about sample size and target populations if applicable. Then this is also the most important thing, which is you have to describe the relevant institutional resources. If you are planning this research with institutional background, include a description of relevant institutional sources section to describe what your institution can offer. You have to identify information like the institution's past competence or contributions within the field of research and the university's supportive services or the institution's research facilities. Then the 11th one, you have to list the references. You have to include a separate references page detailing all the references you have used thus far in identifying the problem and forming a research hypothesis. And the 12th one, you have to identify the personnel. This section should contain biographical information about the main contributors to the research. You have to note that this section is not always included, especially for shorter proposals. You have to state the expertise and responsibilities of each contributor. Then the 13th one, which include appendices. If necessary, appendices are common to most type of research proposal. They include any supporting documents that are necessary for the readers to understand the proposal. So and also you will often refer to your appendices throughout the proposal, giving readers a chance to flip to them and read them over. Then the 14th one, which indicate the anticipated cost you need the funding source to meet and specify items being paid for by other funding sources. Each cost should include justifying information. Then we had come to the most important part, which is you have to take several months to prepare your research proposal. A good research proposal can take up to 6 months to complete, and do not wait until several days before the due date to begin. Then pre-write during phrase. This stage should be performed within 14 to 26 weeks remaining until the deadline. At 26 weeks, review administrative requirements for the foundation and the organization you plan to submit your proposal to. You have to double check your due dates and submission requirements. And at 23 to 25 weeks, create a 1 to 2 page preliminary statement defining your proposed research. If you are working with an advisor or colleagues, present this short version of your proposal at 23 weeks. Use any feedback you receive to further focus your research in week 22. So research the context, history and the background of your research problem at 21 weeks. And at the 19 weeks, write a 2 to 3 page document exploring questions and possible methodological approaches. And you have to contact experts in the field at the 17 weeks to learn about the feasibility and relevance of each potential methodological approach. And also you have to continue your research during the week 16 and refine your research question by week 14. And also the third point which will help you, which is you have to perform yearly administrative tasks in PRESS LB. This portion of your preparation should be completed within 13 to 20 weeks before the deadline. At 20 weeks you have to identify and contact any relevant sources of information including experts, archives and organizations. Begin researching your budget needs by 18 weeks and your protocol process by 14 weeks. You have to request any necessary transcripts by 13 weeks. Then the fourth step, which is focus your writing and administration in phase 2. The portion should be completed between 8 to 13 weeks majorly. And you have to create a single 5-page document containing a research question, framework and proposed research design by week 13. And gather any additional data need to be complete a draft during week 12. You have to reconnect with collaborators and organizations, determine which will be most helpful, and add the remaining details need to be completed within 10 to 12 weeks. And you have to ask your colleagues or an advisor for more feedback by the 9th week mark. And also you have to revise your draft at 8 weeks, create a tentative budget and ask advertisers for letters for recommendations. Then, which is the last step, edit and submit your research proposal. Begin this phase 5 weeks before the deadline and finish several days in advance. At 5 weeks, review specific requirements addressed by the application and revise your proposal to meet these requirements and incorporate advisor suggestions. Give yourself a break during 4 to let things settle and remind your advisor and other faculty about your letters of recommendation during week 3. At 2 weeks, assemble your materials, review your proposal and finalize your proposal. Ask colleagues to help you to copy edit 10 days in advance. And also print your final copy and collect your materials in 3 to 4 days in advance and submit your research proposal 2 to 3 days before the due date. So this is the process on how to write a research proposal completely, and we had briefly discussed everything, each point in these 2 videos. If you didn't see the previous part, please check our channel. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel. I think this video will be the most helpful video. So thanks for